In the cradle of chaos, a purpose unfolds. Heather, the dreamer, so darling, so bold, a coach, a creator, a mother of three, guiding women to themselves they long to be. Her days are a dance, a delicate feat, from coaching the weary to meals prep complete, a macro-based rhythm, proteins aligned in batches and balance, clarity she finds. Through rapids and waterfalls, her sanctuary calls Legacy Creek, where the dragonfly stalls, a healing space where whispers are clear of growth and renewal throughout the year. She stood on the stage of her time-rich reset, teaching the overwhelmed what they often forget, that time's not a tyrant, but a gift to reclaim, a life of intention, their spark to inflame. With audits and marathon runs, Heather's hive buzzes with impact begun. Yet amidst the ambition, her heart holds still 3 boys, a dog, and a cat to fulfill. AKA, I don't have a cat. Mistakes become lessons, reflections grew deep. In raising her sons, she's sown what they reap. Not tasks or trophies, but trust to ignite the flame of her purpose, their own inner light. The flame of their purpose, their own inner light. Her audience grows, her message expands, empowering women with systems and plans. The impact hums with voices so clear, a chorus of courage built year by year. As winter descends on this year's closing door, Heather looks back, her heart wants more. Not in things, but in meaning, connection, and grace. For 2025 holds a brand new embrace. So here's to the highs and the lessons hard earned, to every new chapter, the pages she's turned. Hello. So I wanted to do a year in review, and this year, AI came into my life. And I went into ChatGPT and I said, make me a poem based on my year. And that's pretty accurate. Everything that I have used ChatGPT for, also note, using Claude, CLAUDE.ai, game changer, especially for content creation. I would say that 2024 was an interesting year of growth, an interesting year of introspection, and some big shit and challenges came out. This year specifically, I really learned that it was a friendly reminder that becoming the person, that your life will show you exactly who you need to become based on the contrast that it gives you. And from January, the front end of the year was really hard. I had big symptoms. I thought I was getting sick again, and I had raging gut issues, to like holding incredibly emotionally uncomfortable space for my oldest, kind of like bringing him into adulthood, but holding the boundary of who do I need to become for him. And over and over again this year, it was like a relentless year of becoming. And I cannot tell you how many times I had to reinvent myself. I had to face my deepest fears. I had to face the things I didn't want to face. I had to show up and be courageous over and over again. I had to train I had to train like I've never trained before in my entire life, like physically training, because I signed up for a big endurance event. I talked about it a few episodes ago. I did 3 marathons in 3 days. And my big lesson out of that was, you know, you got to train. You have to train for these life events, because if you are not proactive about life, you are playing reactive. And when we're living a reactive life, we are not living the life we want to live. We're parenting from a reactive place. We're eating from a reactive place. We're treating our health from a reactive place. We're building our companies, our businesses, our careers from a reactive place. And this year was a relentless, like absolute relentless chipping away at this like clawing of like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Show up anyways. Show up anyways. When you decide to dream and live a big life and create deep, deep connections in your relationships and go after what your soul is craving and heal, whether you actively chose to do those things or whether those things chose you, you better be ready for the contrast. You better be ready for the lessons. You better be ready for the healing. There were so many things that I've learned this year. And I can honestly say the number one, this makes me emotional, the number one thing that I have learned this year is that the only thing I need to do is to deeply trust myself. And when I deeply trust myself, everything will align. And when I don't trust myself, that's where I've lost my power. That's where an energy leak has occurred. And what I've noticed is when I'm working with women, whether we are aligning in their relationships or their health or helping them with their time or their energy or their financial resource, allowing people to deeply trust themselves is the journey itself. It is what will bring you back home to you. It will allow you to meet yourself at a door where you have no other way but through. And I started the year with big dreams and big goals. And I ended the year proud. Not because of what I accomplished, but because I never gave up on myself. And the only reason why I didn't give up was because I didn't have a chance. I didn't have the privilege or the opportunity to give up. There were so many sleepless nights. So many times I found myself backed into a corner. So many times I just wanted to say, I want out, I want out, I want out. I don't want to do this anymore. And in hindsight, what I have realized is those were the moments where I was growing muscle. Those were the moments where I was being challenged beyond what I thought I was capable of. And when I was telling myself, I want out, what I really was saying is, I don't think I'm capable of handling this. And that wasn't true. This December 21st, 2024, is 11 years since my diagnosis. And in some moments, I actually feel every year feels difficult in some ways. But this year feels different. This year felt like I was actively going to the next level. Sometimes you have a year and you are in survival state. Some people call it, you have your winter season, you have your spring season, your summer, your fall. And I like to think of things in a survival state, a momentum, or a thrival state. I definitely wasn't in a survival state this year. But 11 years ago, when I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, I was living in a survival state in many areas of my life. And then you start gaining momentum. And I was living in a thrival state in most areas of my life. And I actively, you get to a certain level, you can feel that glass ceiling, right? It's like next level, glass ceiling, next level, glass ceiling. You have to choose to break through. It's not just going to happen. You have to make the choice to say, who do I want to become? What are my desires? Who do I want to become? Where do I need to go? And you have to actively choose to break through. It doesn't just happen. And so this year, I was an active participant in choosing to go after what I wanted and desired. So not only did I have to take radical responsibility for the outcome that I desired, I had to actively participate in things and choose to do things that I did not want to do. And I said, here's my credit card, let's sign up. Yep, let's do the thing. Let's hire the person, let's go after it. And I cannot believe what I accomplished. I cannot believe what I accomplished with the circumstances that were handed and not giving up on myself. Oftentimes when I'm working with people and, they're in really sticky situations and I'm like, you don't have a back door. It's a privilege to give yourself a back door. It's a privilege to fail. It's a privilege to stop. It's a privilege to say, I don't want to do this anymore. And for some reason, I refuse to give myself an out. I will complain. I will cry. I will beg. But there's a part of me that knows that if I give myself a back door, I gave myself an out. And this year, I can honestly say with certainty that I became a buffalo. And when I say I became a buffalo, you can call it a spiritual buffalo if you want. But when I say I became a buffalo, what I mean is I ran towards the storm. I ran towards the storm because I knew the quicker I ran towards the storm, the quicker I would get out. And because I was running towards the storm, because I was running towards my emotional discomfort, not only was freedom on the other side that much quicker, but I met parts of myself that I was avoidant to for an incredibly long time. And because I became the buffalo and because I was running towards the storm, some of those feelings got even bigger. I was actually going to write like a long ass list of all the things I accomplished in 2024 as I was doing like my reflect and review of the year so that I could have this conversation. And I was going through pictures in my phone to like reflect on January, February, March, like where did I go? What did I do? And I thought, none of that matters. None of it matters how much money I made or like where we went as a family or how much weight I lost or how much muscle I've gained. Nobody gives a shit. And you definitely don't give a shit. But like when I look at who I was in January compared to who I am now and the journey, the human journey of becoming, what I can honestly tell you is goals don't matter. Once you accomplish something, you won't give a shit about the goal. You are going to become proud of the work that was required for you to become the person to accomplish that goal. I was actually having this conversation with one of my kids because this is very difficult to do as a parent when you are sitting there having these emotionally uncomfortable conversations with your kids and you can easily see how to solve their problem. And of course, we all want to solve our kids' problems. And I'm sitting there going, man, if I just gave them $500, this problem would be solved. And I thought, Heather, you cannot solve this problem for him. And if you solve this problem for him, you are doing him a huge disservice by not allowing him to become the type of person to solve his own problem. And so as a parent, I had to sit with my own emotional discomfort of, who do I need to become in order for him to become the type of person to accomplish that goal? And 2024 was not only about me becoming the type of person, leaning in, being super proud of myself, but at the end of the day, also asking myself, who do I need to become for my people? Who do I need to become for my team? Who do I need to become for my children? Who do I need to become for my husband? What is the emotional capacity that I need to be able to hold for other people, the people that I truly care about? Because when people come to you with big shit, and my clients come to me with big shit, when people come to you with big things like that, do you have the emotional capacity to hold space? Do you have the ability to sit with their big feelings and not try to fix them? And what I learned this year is the only reason why I have the capacity to hold space for them in that big arena is because this year I held probably the biggest space for myself. I sat in so many uncomfortable moments with myself and my big feelings. And that's why I'm proud. So if you're sitting there thinking about your year, thinking about who you want to be in 2025 or what 2024 looked like, it may have been a year of hell. It may have been a year of huge abundance. You may be so incredibly proud and grateful of who you've become, or you might be incredibly resentful and angry and frustrated. I just want to invite you to think about this. If I deeply trusted myself, what would I do differently in 2025? If I deeply trusted myself and I gave myself some credit, what would I go after? What would I let go of? What decisions would I make? What choices would I make? What would I lean into more of? What would I lean out of? What conversations and rooms do I want to be a part of? And what conversations do I want to opt out of? I think life is really easy. It's incredibly emotionally uncomfortable, but when we give ourselves permission, that's where the magic happens. When we give ourselves permission to know exactly where we need to focus our energy and attention to get to where we want to go, that is where the magic happens. So lean in. Don't give up. Become the buffalo. Run towards the storm, because the quicker you lean in, the quicker you get out of it.